Navigating the labyrinth, understanding, identifying, and disarming narcissistic control. The world, in its vast tapestry of human interactions, occasionally presents us with individuals who operate on a different wavelength, driven by an insatiable need for admiration and an alarming lack of empathy. These are the narcissists, and their presence can turn healthy relationships into battlegrounds, leaving those entangled in their web feeling depleted, confused, and controlled. Understanding narcissism is the first step towards liberation, equipping us with the tools to identify its insidious manifestations, disarm its manipulative tactics, and ultimately reclaim our peace and autonomy. The mirror's edge. How to spot a narcissist. Narcissism, at its core, is a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, in fantasy or behavior, a constant need for admiration, and a profound absence of empathy, beginning by early adulthood and present in a variety of contexts. While the term narcissist is often thrown around casually, true narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, is a clinical diagnosis. However, many individuals exhibit narcissistic traits to varying degrees, making it crucial to understand the behavioral hallmarks. Here's how to spot a narcissist, often through their consistent and deeply ingrained patterns of behavior. The grandiose facade. Narcissists possess an inflated sense of self-importance. They believe they are special and unique, deserving of preferential treatment. This manifests as exaggerated achievements. They will boast incessantly about their accomplishments, often embellishing or outright fabricating details. Even minor successes are magnified into monumental achievements. Sense of entitlement. They genuinely believe they are owed special treatment, advantages, and immediate gratification. Waiting in line, following rules, or being challenged is met with indignation. Fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. Their internal world is often populated by these grandiose fantasies, which serve as a buffer against their fragile self-esteem. They might talk about their future empire, their undeniable genius, or their unparalleled attractiveness. The insatiable need for admiration, narcissistic supply. This is the lifeblood of a narcissist. They constantly seek attention, praise, and validation from others to regulate their shaky self-esteem. Fishing for compliments. They will subtly or overtly fish for compliments, steering conversations to highlight their virtues. Center of attention. They have an innate need to be the focal point of any gathering. If the spotlight shifts, they will find a way to redirect it, often by interrupting, monopolizing conversations, or creating drama. Exploitation of others. They view others as extensions of themselves, existing primarily to fulfill their needs for admiration and validation. This can manifest as using people for their connections, resources, or simply as an audience. Lack of empathy, the emotional void. This is perhaps the most defining and damaging trait. Narcissists struggle to understand or share the feelings of others. Indifference to your pain. When you express sadness, fear, or frustration, they may dismiss it, minimize it, or even turn it back to them. "Why are you so sensitive?" or "You're just trying to make me feel bad" are common refrains. Inability to apologize genuinely. A true apology requires empathy. Narcissists rarely apologize, and when they do, it's often manipulative. "I'm sorry you feel that way," or focused on avoiding consequences rather than expressing remorse. Objectification of others. People are not seen as individuals with their own feelings and needs, but rather as objects to be used or discarded based on their utility to the narcissist. Exploitative and manipulative behavior. To maintain their grandiose image and secure their supply, narcissists employ a range of manipulative tactics. Gaslighting. This is a particularly insidious form of manipulation where the narcissist makes you question your own reality, memory, or sanity, "That never happened," "You're imagining things," or "You're crazy" are common phrases. Triangulation, introducing a third party into a conflict to create division, control, or validate their own position. For example, telling one person negative things about another to create animosity. Love bombing. In the initial stages of a relationship, they overwhelm you with excessive affection, attention, and flattery. This creates an intense bond and makes you feel incredibly special, making it harder to leave later. Silent treatment, stonewalling, withholding communication, affection, or attention as a form of punishment or control. Projection, attributing their own undesirable traits or feelings onto you. If they are insecure, they might call you insecure. Shifting blame, they are never at fault. Any problem or failure is always someone else's responsibility. Envy and arrogance, belittling others. To elevate themselves, they frequently put others down, make sarcastic remarks, or openly criticize those they perceive as a threat, or simply to assert dominance. Envy of others. They may be envious of others' achievements, possessions, or relationships, and may try to undermine them. Arrogance. This can manifest as haughty, disdainful, or condescending attitudes. Examples from life. The boss. A narcissistic boss might take credit for your work, dismiss your ideas in meetings, publicly belittle you, and blame you for their own mistakes. They might demand your constant availability and expect you to prioritize their needs above everything else. The partner. A narcissistic partner might love bomb you at the beginning, then gradually begin to criticize your appearance, friends, or hobbies. They might gaslight you into believing you're too sensitive or crazy when you express concerns. They might isolate you from your support system and use silent treatment to punish you for perceived slights. The parent. A narcissistic parent might live vicariously through their child, demanding perfection and belittling any perceived failures. They might use guilt trips, compare their child unfavorably to others, and refuse to acknowledge their child's independent needs or emotions. They might prioritize their own image and needs above the well-being of their child. The friend. A narcissistic friend might always steer conversations back to themselves, constantly seek compliments, become jealous of your successes, and offer backhanded compliments. They might disappear when you need support, but expect you to be there for their every whim. Navigating the minefield. How to deal with a narcissist. Dealing with a narcissist is challenging, as their fundamental operating system is geared towards self-preservation and control. However, with awareness and strategic approaches, you can protect yourself and minimize their impact. 1. Acknowledge and accept the reality. The most crucial first step is to accept that you are dealing with a narcissist and that they are unlikely to change. This isn't about excusing their behavior, but about adjusting your expectations and strategy. Stop hoping they will suddenly develop empathy or acknowledge their wrongdoing. 2. Detach emotionally. Gray rock method. This is a powerful tactic. The gray rock method involves becoming as uninteresting and unresponsive as possible to the narcissist's attempts to provoke a reaction. Imagine you are a dull gray rock. Keep interactions brief and factual. Respond with minimal information, emotion, or engagement. Avoid emotional reactions. Narcissists feed on your emotional responses. Don't justify, argue, or explain. They thrive on debate and will twist your words. No personal information. Do not share details about your life, feelings, or vulnerabilities. This gives them ammunition. 3. Set and enforce firm boundaries. Narcissists constantly push boundaries. Clear, concise, and consistently enforced boundaries are your shield. O. Be explicit. Clearly state what you will and will not tolerate. I will not discuss this when you raise your voice. O. Follow through with consequences. This is vital. If they cross a boundary, there must be a consequence. This isn't about punishment, but about demonstrating that your boundaries are real. If you continue to insult me, I will end this conversation. and then do it. O. Expect pushback. They will test your boundaries repeatedly. Stay firm. 4. Limit contact, if possible. The less exposure you have to a narcissist, the less power they have over you. O. Go no contact. If feasible and safe, this is the most effective way to break free. Block them on all platforms, avoid places where you might encounter them, and inform mutual acquaintances you are not discussing them. O. Go low contact. If no contact isn't possible, example, co-parenting, work, minimize interactions as much as possible. Keep communications strictly to necessary topics, in writing if possible, and maintain a business-like demeanor. 5. Document everything. Narcissists will deny, twist, and rewrite history. Keep a detailed record of their manipulative behaviors, especially if legal action might be necessary, example, in a divorce or custody battle. O. Emails, texts, voicemails. Save all communications. Journaling. Note dates, times, specific incidents, and your feelings. 6. Build a strong support system. You need people who understand and validate your experiences. O. Trusted friends and family. Share what you're going through. Therapist/counselor. A professional can provide invaluable strategies, coping mechanisms, and emotional support. Disarming the controller. Tactics to stop narcissistic control. Beyond general dealing strategies, specific tactics can help you dismantle a narcissist's attempts to control you. Do not react. This is the golden rule. Their goal is to elicit a reaction: anger, tears, frustration, despair. When you don't react, you deny them their supply and the satisfaction of knowing they've gotten under your skin. Practice emotional detachment. Do not engage in arguments. Narcissists thrive on conflict and will drag you into circular arguments where they are always right and you are always wrong. Disengage immediately. "I hear what you're saying," or "we'll have to agree to disagree," can be effective exit lines. Use I statements cautiously. While generally good communication, with a narcissist, this can sometimes backfire as they may weaponize your feelings. If you do use them, keep them factual and devoid of emotional pleading. "I observe that you consistently interrupt me," rather than "I feel hurt when you interrupt me." Fact-check everything. Narcissists are master manipulators of truth. Do not take anything they say at face value. Verify information, especially if it sounds too good to be true or designed to undermine someone else. Don't share your successes. Sharing your achievements or happiness with a narcissist can trigger their envy and lead to them trying to belittle or sabotage you. Keep your victories private or share them with your true support system. Learn to say no firmly and without guilt. Narcissists are masters of demanding favors and exploiting your good nature. Saying no without explanation or apology is crucial. "No, I can't do that. That doesn't work for me." Focus on their actions, not their words. Narcissists are often charming and persuasive, but their actions rarely align with their words. Pay attention to what they do, not what they say. Expose them, cautiously and strategically. Sometimes, if safe to do so and for a specific purpose, example, to warn others in a legal context, strategically exposing their behavior to others can be effective. However, be prepared for their counterattack and flying monkeys, people they manipulate to do their bidding. This should only be done with careful consideration of the risks. Create your own narrative. Narcissists will try to control your perception of yourself and the world. Actively work to counter their narrative by focusing on your own strengths, values, and experiences. Remind yourself of the truth. Fortifying your shield. Ways to protect yourself. Protecting yourself from a narcissist is an ongoing process of self-care and strategic defense. 1. Prioritize your mental and emotional health. Therapy. A therapist specializing in narcissistic abuse can help you process trauma, rebuild self-esteem, and coping strategies. Mindfulness and meditation. These practices can help you stay grounded and less reactive. Self-care. Engage in activities that nourish your soul. Hobbies, exercise, spending time in nature, connecting with supportive people. 2. Rebuild your self-esteem.
Narcissists systematically chip away at your self-worth. Actively work to rebuild it. Affirmations. Remind yourself of your positive qualities. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge your accomplishments no matter how minor. Focus on your values. Live in alignment with your own principles, not those imposed by the narcissist. 3. Educate yourself continually. The more you understand about narcissistic behavior, the better equipped you will be to identify and counter it. Read books, articles, and watch videos from reputable sources. 4. Strengthen your support network. Surround yourself with people who genuinely care about you, validate your feelings, and unconditional support. Distance yourself from anyone who enables the narcissist or dismisses your concerns. 5. Develop a safety plan, if necessary. If the narcissist is abusive, emotionally or physically, prioritize your safety. This might involve seeking legal counsel, understand your rights and options, creating an escape plan. If you live with them, have a plan for safe exit, including a place to stay, money, and important documents. Informing trusted individuals. Let people know what's happening and where you are going. Trust your gut instincts. Narcissists are masters of deception. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't second-guess yourself. Your intuition is a powerful protective mechanism. The Stoic gaze. Wisdom for the narcissist's orbit. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy focused on virtue, reason, and living in harmony with nature, offers profound insights and practical tools for navigating difficult human interactions, including those with narcissists. While Stoics didn't specifically name narcissists, their principles apply directly to dealing with individuals who lack self-control, empathy, and reason. 1. The dichotomy of control. This is perhaps the most fundamental Stoic principle. We control our judgments, impulses, desires, and aversions. We do not control external events, other people's opinions, or their actions. Application. A Stoic would recognize that they cannot change the narcissist's nature or force them to be empathetic. Their focus shifts from trying to change the narcissist to managing their own reactions to the narcissist's behavior. This immediately reduces the power the narcissist holds. This person is acting according to their nature, Marcus Aurelius might say. It is my reaction that causes me distress, not their actions themselves. 2. Focus on virtue and reason. Stoics believe that the only true good is virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, temperance. Application. When confronted with narcissistic manipulation or aggression, a Stoic would strive to respond with reason, not emotion. They would ask, what is the virtuous response here? How can I maintain my integrity and peace of mind rather than being dragged into their drama? They would choose to be temperate in their responses, courageous in setting boundaries, and just in their dealings, even when the other person is not. 3. Amor fati, love of fate, and acceptance. While not condoning harmful behavior, Stoics advocate for acceptance what is beyond our control.
Application. A Stoic understands that the narcissist's behavior is a given, a part of the fate they encounter. This acceptance isn't resignation, but a liberation from wishing things were different. It allows them to move from anger and frustration to a more pragmatic approach. This is how they are, they would acknowledge. Now, how shall I best respond? 4. The inner citadel. Stoicism emphasizes building an inner citadel, a fortress of the mind impervious to external disturbances. Application. This relates directly to the gray rock method. The Stoic cultivates inner peace and self-sufficiency, ensuring that their happiness and tranquility are not dependent on the narcissist's approval or behavior. They are not shaken by insults because their self-worth comes from within, not from external validation. Epictetus advised, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind has assented to the provocation. The Stoic trains their mind not to assent. 5. Premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils. This practice involves contemplating potential difficulties or negative scenarios to prepare oneself mentally. Application. A Stoic dealing with a narcissist would anticipate their likely tactics, the blame shifting, the gaslighting, the emotional outbursts.
By mentally rehearsing how they will respond calmly and rationally, they are less likely to be caught off guard and react emotionally. 6. Indifference to externals. While not advocating for apathy towards suffering, Stoics classify things like reputation, wealth, and other people's opinions as indifference, not inherently good or bad. Application. A narcissist relies heavily on controlling perceptions and seeking admiration. A Stoic would recognize the futility of seeking their approval or fearing their disapproval, as these are external factors outside of their control and not essential for a virtuous life. The insults of a narcissist are just noise, not a reflection of one's true worth. In essence, Stoicism provides a robust philosophical framework for interacting with a narcissist by emphasizing self-control, rational responses, and a deep understanding of what truly lies within our power. It encourages us to protect our inner peace, not by engaging in their chaotic drama, but by strengthening our own character and aligning with our highest values. Navigating relationships with narcissists is one of life's most demanding challenges. Their intricate web of manipulation and emotional exploitation can leave even the strongest individuals feeling lost and powerless. However, by understanding their behavioral patterns, implementing strategic coping mechanisms, and drawing upon the timeless wisdom of philosophies like Stoicism, you can reclaim your autonomy, protect your well-being, and ultimately find liberation from their control. The journey may be arduous, but the path to self-preservation and peace is always within reach.